Bill's Pod Squad is presented by the New York Lottery. The new seasonal scratch-off games from the New York Lottery are here, with prizes up to $500,000. They're the perfect gift. Head to your nearest retailer and gift one today. You must be 18 years or older to purchase. Please gift responsibly. On this week's episode, Kim and I react to Brandon Beane's contract extension with the team. We catch up with Bills cornerback Tre'Davious White to find out where he got his large personality, his plan to bring a real Buffalo to Bills Stadium, and some of the best pranks he's pulled on his teammates and coaches. We also dip into another edition of Ask the Owner. That and more as we kick off another edition of Bills Pod Squad right now. Welcome into Bills Pod Squad presented by the New York Lottery. Maddy and Bills owner and president Kim Pegula here as your host. It's a podcast that takes you beyond the X's and O's and gets into who our players are. Today we have corner Tre'Davious White on with us. He shares many things and he makes us laugh several times. He talks about his contract extension, what it's like to be in Buffalo, and how this place has truly become his home. Kim, some exciting news that just came out that I want to talk to you about. Bills general manager Brandon Beane has signed his contract extension. Head coach Sean McDermott signed his back in August. It's now Brandon's turn. So why was it the right time to get this done now?
Well, listen, we got Coach done, and I think, as we go into a postseason, as we go into, especially during this kind of COVID pandemic, kind of everything has been turned upside down. We really, I think, stability was really a big part, I think, of the success that we've had this year. I know Brandon got on a call right before you and I talked about speaking to the whole staff and just saying that if you look at the teams that are truly in playoff contention, they are some long tenured coaching staffs, some, long tenured GMs and organizations. And he felt that that was also success. And we totally agreed with him that, having that continuity, having stability, having a lot of, consistency across our management team, that was really important and does play a part in the success of the team. And so we just felt that he certainly deserved it. And we felt that just wanted to get it done and kind of get it out of our way. And so we can push towards that playoff push and look to the postseason and not have to worry about that.
What's impressed you the most about Brandon and his time since becoming the general manager in Buffalo? You think back to 2017 and just how far this team has come in just those 3 short seasons, almost 4 now as we finish out 2020. But I guess what has been some of the most impressive parts about his years here so far?
If I really think about it, I think it's really a lot about just his, not just one thing, but his overall understanding of the organization, our team needs. It's not just about scouting. It's not just about the cap. It's not just about the players on the team. I think he really does kind of really take the time to really understand how it all fits together, getting us into the right cap space, but making sure that when we're doing extensions, that it's the right numbers and we're not sacrificing something, in the long term for a short-term gain, and help just really thinking through about planning on what the team needs are and the steps that we get there. So I think it's really his real understanding of the complete picture that it takes to run a football organization that really has impressed us, over the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's something that Sean McDermott said in his press conference when he signed his contract extension. He said, I can't think of doing this job with anybody else but Brandon Beane because he really knows how to do it all. He understands the business side just as well as the football side of things. So I'm so excited that those two are locked up together for many years to come, because just to see what they've done in the few short years that they've been here has been very impressive. And just what's to come for the future, it's got to be good based on what they've done here, taking the team to the playoffs in 2 of their first 3 seasons. Hopefully we can make it 3 out of 4 this season. But do you have any Brandon Beane stories that you want to share with us? I've gotten to know him just a little bit in the last, year and a half. This season is different, of course, but he's such a fun guy to be around too. And he shows that off in press conferences that he does and podcasts that he does. You get to see this side of Brandon Beane that's like, he'd be a cool guy to hang out with.
Yeah, you talk about personality in Trey White, and certainly Brandon is another one. Like again, another just positive trait about Brandon, why, he's such a great GM for us, is just, for the way he can communicate with Terry and I. And you're right. Sometimes it's not just all about football. It's just about just spending time, someone you want to be around with, right? And just hang out with. And, do I have any specific stories? Probably not. I don't know if it's specific stories, but I'm going to say probably just as an example of the kind of person Brandon is. So our daughter, Jessie, the professional tennis player, there's always a big tournament in Charleston, and Brandon has a home nearby there. And he just like, hey, you can stay at my house. And like literally my daughter's just hanging out at his house in South Carolina while she's playing at this tournament. And he's like, I don't care, just, go. She's opening up his fridge, right? She's like, wow, Brandon has a lot of beer. The only thing in his refrigerator was beer, right? And I will say that's probably the other thing too. We're not able to do it this year, but usually we go when we travel with the team. Saturday night, we always go out with Brandon and Joe Shane and Dan Morgan, and we go out and have dinner the night before a game. And so, Terry's drinking his, kind of wine, and, there's mixed drinks, whatever. But no, Brandon is just beer. It's just beer. The cheaper the beer, the better, too. So that just kind of shows you the kind of guy, just very down to earth. He likes what he likes, no pretentiousness. He is who he is, and that's what we love about him. That's why we want him to stay here with us for a long time.
I wonder if Brandon Beane was a Natty Light guy in college, because that is a beer that tastes just like water and is probably less than $1 a can.
Yeah.
Kim, before we get to Tre'Davious White's interview, I wanted to talk about just how he's one of the best personalities in the NFL. You and I have gotten to experience it multiple times in just small interactions with him too. It could be a moment where you're just passing by Tre'Davious and he's got some perfect off the dome comment that just makes you laugh or just makes you think like, this guy is truly a national treasure. So do you have a favorite Trey story or a favorite Trey moment? I know he's always hounding you for the cookies that you make. He loves the chocolate chips ones, which he will get into in this podcast. But what are some of your favorite moments that you've shared with Trey?
I love the fact that he has just embraced Buffalo as a whole. And some of my favorite ones is just really when like he shows up at Maddy Sabres game and he's there and like, listen, this is a guy, probably didn't have a whole lot of ice hockey growing up, right? Or at all. But just loves it. And the way he's able to connect different parts of Buffalo, especially our organizations and the hockey part, and just, how much fun he's had with the goalie academy and just wanting to be a part of this community. That's probably just what I love about him. Like you said, always with a smile, right? Like I've never seen him not smile, but I will tell you that, as much as he's smiling and joking and having fun, he's showing it on the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a competitive guy and he wants to be the best corner in the NFL, and he will do the work, and he will take it so seriously that sometimes you forget that when you're joking around with him. But he is, a guy that has two sides to him. And I love the fact that he doesn't have to separate them. He can put out on the field and have a good time doing it.
I think one of my favorite stories are just like favorite realizations of the type of player and person that he is. It was probably one of my first weeks with the Bills, and I was in the cafeteria and somebody had the goalie academy sweatshirt on. I was like, is that one of our players? Like, what? Tell me the correlation why one of our players is in hockey gear. And whoever it was like, oh, you haven't seen the Tre'Davious White goalie academy video? And then they showed it to me. And I was like in tears. I was laughing so hard and was thinking, who is this person? I cannot wait to meet them. This is insane. This is so funny that like he has connected football and hockey together in ways that probably no one has envisioned. And then I met him and I was like, Tre'Davious White, wow, what a personality, what a player, what a character. Never ceases to amaze me with what comes out of his mouth at the drop of a hat as well.
Yeah, and like certainly, like you said, he answers all of that and more on the field. So just like I said, happy to have him, and great that we were able to extend his contract. Another great win for Brandon. So a lot to look forward to.
And before we get to that interview, quickly, we got to talk about our next fan box shirt this week. It's Tremaine Edmunds' turn. I've got it on now, Kim. It's a black shirt with some white writing that says Maine Savage, which is Tremaine's Twitter handle. Also, one of his nicknames, I would say. It's got this cool like script on it. It kind of looks like a concert T-shirt almost.
Yeah,
Has
looks like
some other cool things
rock.
with it. Yeah. Like, I wonder if Tremaine's a big rock star guy. But anywho, the box also includes a Bills apron, co-branded apron with the St. Bonaventure logo, and it comes with a Bills cookie cutter. I was opening the box today, and I was thinking about making Christmas cookies this weekend, and I didn't have any cookie cutters. And here's this Charging Buffalo cookie cutter. I'm like, perfect. All my cookies are going to be Buffaloes this year.
Oh, that's great. Like I said, I think Trey, I don't know if we caught it, but Trey was certainly one of the guys right before we interviewed Tremaine, was right before we interviewed Trey, that came up and just, really happy to see him, and gave him a little, some, I don't know what they were saying, but a lot of love.
Definitely. It's available at billsfanbox.com until Monday, December 14th at 11:59 p.m. Like I said with the last fan box, it's a perfect holiday gift, and the proceeds benefit child and family services. So you're also gifting someone else, which is awesome. The New York Lottery is giving away $50 worth of the new limited edition New York Series scratch-off tickets with a chance to win up to $1 million to one of our lucky listeners each week. Visit buffalobills.com/NYLottery or click on the link in the podcast description to enter now. All right, guys, here's our interview with Tre'Davious White.
Pro T White right here.
Faison.
Hey, fourth quarter T White right here.
Faison. Y'all know his name, Faison, right?
Yes. Well, Tremaine started it off for us with that introduction, Trey. Pumped to have you on the podcast this week. It's always a fun time talking to you and getting to hear from you, just with the huge personality that you carry on this team. But since you've gotten to Buffalo, you're a first-round pick from 2017. When you assess your years in Buffalo, how do you think you've grown the most since your first couple days here?
Oh, as far as football or just life in general?
Both. Give me football and life.
Okay. Well, as far as the football aspect, I believe that since I came here, I've become a way better player, just as far as just on the field, overall knowledge of the game and feel of the game, and I come from a great university as far as like getting guys ready for the league and excelling in the league. But once I got here, it's just I took my knowledge of the game to a whole nother level, and I was able to hone in and study more film and learn how to study film. My rookie year, my DB coach Gilbert, he was a great tool that I had, great resource for me. He's played 12 years in the league, so he was a great asset that I had, and he kind of molded me and helped me watch film, helped me learn what to watch. So, I mean, he was a great asset that I had. So as far as that, I've become a way better player. I feel like, in college I was a pretty good player, but I got better on the field as I got older and as I've been here in Buffalo. So, and that goes to like the support staff and Coach McDermott putting a great coaching staff together to really put time in on the players and really, really hone in on our fundamentals. So those are the things that I think on the field that has helped me become the player that I am. But as far as off the field, it's kind of tough because we're in here so much and so long. So I just think that with time management and how to just prioritize things, with football and with my family, and trying to be a great player here for my teammates and try to be a great dad at home with my kids. I think that over the last 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, I think that time management and being very time oriented and knowing how to prioritize things is definitely some things that since I've been in Buffalo, I've been better at for sure.
So Trey, did you ever come to Buffalo? Have you ever been to Buffalo before you got drafted by the Bills?
He's
Oh
from
my God.
Louisiana.
No, Miss Kim, you know what? I don't think I ever told you guys this. So, I'm sitting at the draft table and, 26 is up. The Atlanta Falcons is on the clock. So my phone get to ringing. So I'm like, okay. So I answer the phone and it was Coach McDermott, but nobody around me knew. They thought it was Atlanta because Atlanta was on the clock already. So they was like, oh, everybody in my family was like, oh, we going to Atlanta, we still in the South. So Atlanta picked while I was still on the phone. And they was like, wait, like what's going on? So as things went on. So somebody was just like, Buffalo. And it was like, Buffalo, yeah. Then my dad looked around like, Buffalo? Buffalo, what is that? Where is Buffalo?
Get the map out.
So yeah, once my agent told it was in New York, they was like, oh, we get to go to New York City, get the shop. He was like, no. This is 7 hours away from New York City. So and another funny story. So once, everything went on, I got back to my phone after the whole interview process. My strength coach from LSU, Coach Tommy Moffitt, he didn't text me and tell me congratulations or anything. He sent me like 10 pictures of like snow blizzards. I was just like big old snowstorms. He was like, this is what you're going to be dealing with. So, but since I've been here, I've learned to embrace it. My family love it. They love to come here when it's snowing, especially to get that experience. But the fans are next to none. And this is just the city is everything that I am, that exemplifies me as hardworking. Don't need a lot of flash and glamour. Just go to work. Try to be as best that I could for my teammates and for the people around here. And I think that I couldn't be in a better place that fits me as a person and fits my personality. So I'm happy to be here for sure.
Well,
so.
and you've also learned to love hockey. So, I mean,
yeah, see, being in the cold, that brought that out too. I've been to a few Sabre game, and then just from that connection with the Sabres, and then with the Trey White Golden Academy, this off season I got drafted into the league by my hometown hockey team, which is like a smaller league, like a junior league. So I was like a first round pick in that draft this year too. So I mean, I'm all around when it comes to this Buffalo thing. So Buffalo has opened a lot of doors for me as far as like off the field and doing some fun things with my personality.
So Trey, I'm gonna tell everybody that when I don't know what time it was though, but I remember we're at a hockey game. You come up to me and you're like, Miss Kim, it's like we need to be getting a real buffalo as our mascot. So Trey has been on the campaign to get a real buffalo as a mascot, and I will tell you, Trey, that we did really look into it. One, it cost a lot of money to travel a buffalo. I think we found one out in Colorado. But right now, the best thing we can do is actually grow our own and train our own buffalo. So I don't know where you live, if you got some room, whether here in Louisiana, where you can train a buffalo.
You got that contract extension money?
Oh, you know what? That's small. That is small compared to Pegula Sports and Entertainment. You know what, Madison? We just gonna put mine to the side. That is chump change. So we can definitely grow a buffalo for sure.
That's
find a little field on the side right here. We can do that for sure. We need that buffalo.
Our own home grain trained buffalo. So
we definitely need
Trey is not only a football player. He thinks big. He thinks about the fan experience, about the game experience. Even down to our mascot. So he brings a lot that I did not even know when we drafted him, more than just his play on the field.
Kim, I was going to say, you might as well hire him after he retires from the NFL with everything he can add from fan experience, personality, he's the complete package. And Trey, we've been talking.
My resume. I'm adding, Maddy, as you talk, I'm adding all this to my resume. So when I'm done, I can turn this in to whoever runs Pegula Sports Entertainment, because I need a job for sure. I'm gonna need a job, Miss Cam.
I will campaign for you. We've been talking for 6 minutes, and I've already laughed probably 20 times. Your personality, Trey, is incredible. It is one of the best in athletes that I've talked to. I'm just going to correct myself and say the best. Where did this personality come from? I mean, was younger Trey in his elementary school days, his middle school days, the same type of Trey that we're talking to right now when it comes to just the way that you're able to joke around, command a room, bring smiles to people's faces?
I believe, you know, when the good Lord constructed Tre'Davious White, he just put something in me to try to light up the room and try to make the day of others around me and try to be that bright light for people around me to, you know, kind of loosen up everybody. So I've been this way since I can remember, especially in elementary school, middle school, just joking with my friends, and definitely in high school too, and in college too. So my friends and I, we have a lot of funny videos over the years that we have in our archives that of me just doing funny stuff, you know, no matter where it is. We could be in the street at practice or just going out shopping or anything like that. Even with my two kids, I joke with them and play pranks on them too. So, I mean, I'm always like this. So whenever I'm not, it's a problem.
Do you play pranks on some of the guys?
Oh, for sure. Teammates?
What's the best one?
Yeah, what's the best one?
Best prank you've pulled?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of them. You know, I gotta kind of poll some of my teammates so they can tell you guys are some of the experiences that I've had. I don't know. Well, just recently I was Smoke Brown. He was in the training room, and so he's the only person on the team. Like when he's on the training table, he has like 4 people working on him at one time. So he's on the training table, and he has somebody working on one person on one foot, another person on the foot, and he's reading a book with his mask on, with his shield on, and somebody's working on his hand. So I snapped a picture of him. I was like, when has this become like the Smoke Brown spa and salon, you know? And I sent the picture to Coach McDermott, and he put it up in the big meeting room and joked about it. They made a whole template, like a whole salon like thing for Smoke, and it was pretty funny for the whole team. But that's just one recently that I've done. But I do it all the time, every day. It's something every day, and it's just off the head. It's not nothing that's, you know, premeditated or anything. It's just like as the day go along, I'm like, okay, and it just comes to me, and it's just something that I'm blessed with, I guess.
Have you ever pranked Coach?
Coach McDermott?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think in the game. So in the game, we have these little smell salt things that we sniff before we go on the field to try to get our heart rate up, try to get us up. So this game, I thought it was a great idea to sneak up behind Coach, you know, and put it in front of his nose, because if you inhale it just gives you a full body chill. And I did that before we went out for a drive this game. He just gave me like this stale look. He was mad. He was mad, but I could tell that the smell salt got him, because he was really mad. He was mad about it. But I prank Coach all the time.
Yeah.
My coaches all the time. It don't matter who it is. The media people. I even prank Maddy. I got something for you whenever you can get back in the building.
You know,
okay,
I'm looking forward to getting back into the building, but maybe not as much, because I know I have a prank coming for me. But anyways, pumped to be able to get back into the building and get to talk to you guys face to face. This whole Zoom thing has not been my favorite.
Not at all.
But Tracy,
Miss Kim,
such a big.
I got one thing, Miss Kim. Look, as I'm sitting here thinking, it's time for you to give Mr. Pegula a new phone, because when he was out here doing camp, I saw him with a flip phone, Miss Kim. Please, could you please get him an iPhone?
He's tried.
He's changed over the last year. He's got an iPhone, but I will say he has an iPhone, but it still has the button at the bottom. It's like the iPhone 8. And so he won't change to like the 12 or the 10 or the 11.
No, he need that home button. No, because I remember he was out at practice. He flipped the phone open. I guess he was trying to take a picture or record. He was up close. I was like, Mr. Pegula, you need to get your iPhone, man.
He does have one now, but now he presses buttons, he presses things, and then it takes him somewhere else, and it's a lot of work. It really is. I gotta be on him all the time. So yeah, technology is not his friend. So
yeah, not at all.
But he does love taking pictures, and he loves texting, so you can text him anytime.
Oh yeah, now I text him here a few times. You know, he kind of late on the response. I got to get on him about that for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you swag him out with some shoes?
Oh, last year I did. I swagged him out with some shoes, and you know, it's hurt me that I haven't seen him sporting them at all, you know?
Well, I know he has. You know what? He has them in his office. I know he does. So you got to get him on about that. You got to text him. Sometimes he doesn't know that you can go back to your text messages. So like if it's a current text message, that's what he sees on the screen. So he doesn't know that.
So he don't know he can go to the news thread and go and look the whole conversation. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I told you it's a project, Trey. I don't have enough time in the day.
All right, Trey. So let's get to the football field, because what you've been able to do in your few years here, now in your fourth season with the Bills, has been pretty incredible. Certainly one of the best corners, if not the best corner in the league right now in the NFL. The PR department, our lovely PR department, came out with a stat today that says you lead the NFL with 16 second half takeaways since you've entered the NFL in 2017, which is the most in the NFL in that time span. Trey, what's it been like to go from a corner who's trying to prove yourself to a corner that now gets no action? I feel like it's one of the most unique things in the NFL, because it's not like you're like incredible receiver who's getting the ball now thrown to him even more in his fourth season. It's like now you don't get as much action because nobody wants to throw on your side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging, Maddy. Like you said, when I first got here, just a rookie trying to find his way, and the youngest guy on the field, and I was the only rookie that was starting on defense before Matt began to start. So as we going through OTA practices and camp, I'm terrified because we got older guys on the team like Kyle and Jerry and Lorenzo. So I'm trying my best not to make any mistakes, because I see how angry those guys get. So I'm like, that was a thing that pretty much made me, like, it was one of those things that pretty much, helped me. Like, you have to be on your stuff, because these guys are not going to take it easy on you, because they're on the back end of their career. They want to win, they're taking it serious. So even though being a rookie, they're not going to use that as an excuse. I can't use that as an excuse. But as I progressed and got better and better, and now, like you said, to your point of not getting many targets, I think that makes me hone in on my fundamentals and on my film study even more, because every play I have to be on my best and try to cover this guy the best that I can, because that I'm covering the guy for 40 times the best time, but that 41 time, if I feel like I've arrived and I've been covering good, that one time I slip up, that's all everybody will talk about. So that's the toughest thing that I'm dealing with now, is just being consistent and doing it, play in and play out, no matter if the player's coming my way or not. Just make sure I'm taking that play serious and trying to cover that guy as best as I can.
Yeah, you have had 3 interceptions in the last 4 games. And I know this secondary is talked about. When turnovers and interceptions come, they come in bunches. And it seems like over the last 5 or 6 games, that's been the case for this defense, which is so great to see as we head into the end of the season and the playoffs. But you talk about your film study that you have to do to be able to have that one play where you have a chance to actually pick the ball off. What would you say is like the Tre'Davious White special? Because when you're intercepting a ball, a lot of the times you can't give it away. You have to bait the quarterback. You have to be in the right position to throw the receiver off. So how are you able to do that?
I really appreciate you, because people do not understand how hard it is to get an interception in an NFL game. And
the amount of film that you probably watch to have to notice that one
play. Yeah. Yes. So, like, usually when I watch film, I watch a ton of film. And offenses change throughout the game. They're going to come in, their first 15 to 20 plays are, they're going to have some things matched in, but there's going to be the new plays that they sprinkled in this week to try to, scheme up on, the defense that they're playing. Then after those 20 plays, is back to the things that they do best. And I mean, out of all the film study that I watch and watching the formations and trying to eliminate things, I go into the game with 2 or 3 things that I know that I'm going to see. Okay, if I see this formation, then I know these routes are coming. So that's what it is. But other than that, I'm playing the card and I'm playing my tools. But you got to work extremely hard to see that formation, to make that one play. People don't understand how much film study you have to watch to put yourself in position to make that one splash play a game. It's tough.
Well, that one You know what else is tough, Trey, is that getting a contract extension
I was
and
just going to say that.
continuing the level of play that you have. You know, listen, when these contract extensions come up, you know, the one fear I know from an owner's mindset you have is like, okay, is this, you know, once he gets the big paydays, is his production going to fall off? Is, you know, is their focus elsewhere? But not with you. You've proved it this year. You've been highly productive, and like you said, as Maddy quoted, all your great stats that you've had, you've been consistent in your production before the contract, after the contract. So that's not easy to do either.
I really appreciate that. And another thing, I was talking to my dad about this. I was like, like I understood like growing up and working hard and doing all the things that I'm supposed to do. I understand that like hard work comes with, I knew with my hard work and the things that I did and getting my sleep and eating right, I knew that the contract and all that, I knew that was gonna take care of itself. But I was telling my dad, I was like, Dad, like just me playing this game, I'm a competitor. Like when God made me, he put something in Tre'Davious White to strive and drive to be the best that he could be no matter what it is. I don't care if I'm playing checkers, I want to win, I'm gonna compete. So it was something that he put in me when he constructed me that, whatever it is, you're gonna strive and do the best. So with the contract thing, like I told my dad, I was like, I knew that was gonna come, but when I'm done playing, only thing that I care about is like what my peers and my coaches thought about me as a player. Like I'm playing to be, when I'm done playing, and everybody look back and be like, and when you guys look back, be like, Tre'Davious White, he was one of the best corners that played for our organization. I want to have I look up in the Raptors in the stadium, I don't see a number 27 in there. So that's one of my goals too. I want to have a 27 in the Ring of Honor. I want to do all those things. So I think that the contract, that stuff take care of itself. But the only thing I care about is my performance on the field and continue to do great things. So
Trey, before you signed that contract extension, I mean, this was a season that a lot of us didn't know if it was going to happen. And then when we found out it was going to happen, a lot of us didn't know who was going to play. And you were one person that was really thinking about the decision to not play this season or play this season because of your family, because of your kids at home, and completely rightfully so. This has been a scary year for so many families who have lost loved ones due to COVID. We've all had to adjust the way that we live our life. You as a football player have had to completely adjust the way that you live your life with all these protocols in place. So how has that decision now played out that you have decided to play this season, and just seeing all these protocols that, have fallen into place and have gotten even tighter week to week now as we close out the season here? It's not something that everybody has to do every single day in getting their nose swabbed to get tested, and the things that you guys have to go through.
Maddy, I was talking to one of my friends before the season started. I said, however it goes, whenever it starts, it's gonna take extreme internal motivation for anybody to play good this year. Without the fans, the fans play a big part in like how the teams perform, the energy level of the team, how we feed off the crowd. But the internal motivation is the key factor, because if you don't wake up that spark, you're not just gonna get it. Because when you arrive to the stadium, it's gonna be empty, it's gonna be quiet, nobody's gonna be there. So it's just like this year has shown like who truly loves football and who don't. Because the players that show up, like our team show up, and we're excited because we're the only ones in the stadium. We love that because we get to hear everything, we get to talk to each other, we get to talk trash to the other team, and everybody gets to hear it. So it's exciting for our team. We got a lot of guys on the team that likes to talk and likes to have fun. So it's been a joy for us because we know we making the most out of it, how we come in and interact with each other and hang out in the building and stuff like that. So for us, this has been a plus. This brought us close together as a team, and I think that going forward, I think it's gonna serve us well for sure.
Definitely. You also have two kids running around at home every day, Trey J and Tristan. Trey J seems like he is a model of yourself from videos and pictures that I've seen on social media. What has it been like to probably be able to build an even stronger relationship with them this season because of the pandemic?
Oh my God, it's been great. I know during COVID, during the off season, we had extra months off. So day to day, I was able to do all the things that during the season or during OTAs or during camp that I'm not able to do on a consistent level. Like, so during the pandemic and during like the off season, like I was able to get both of them up and, you know, wash their face, brush their teeth. Tristan didn't have teeth at the time, but brush Trey's teeth and get him ready, you know, get him ready for his little Zoom school. I was able to take them on walks and do it. So I was able to connect with both of them on levels that and they weren't used to seeing me at home that much, so it was definitely a plus. But I was able to, you know, connect with them and show them that affection that I always want them to know and always try to show them. But you know, while it's the season going on now, I don't get to see them much. I mean, I know 2 or 3 days out of the week I don't get to see Tristan because he goes to sleep at like 6:30. So once I get home around almost 7 o'clock every day. So it'd be times I don't get to see him. So, you know, the season and the football, you know, this job definitely takes away from the family time. But with the quarantine, I was able to make up that time and do all the things that I love to do, you know, as far as like getting them ready and doing. I wanted to do those things. You know, I was telling our kid, I was like, don't worry, in the middle of the night, if Tristan wake up, I wanted to be the one to get up and go get him and change his diaper and give him a bottle and put him back to sleep. I wanted that responsibility because I know during the season I don't get the opportunity to do those things. So those are the moments that I've cherished the most. You know, during the quarantine, I was able to, you know, do some things and not miss as much. But it's been a blessing in disguise for sure.
Do you have any special holiday traditions that your family does?
We're trying to get around to that because, you know, I'm a new dad and I'm learning on the go. I'm learning day by day. So we're trying to get
you got some ideas?
We're gonna try
you know what?
Yeah, please. You know, please.
Oh, well, okay. Well, the one thing we always share a present on Christmas Eve. Only one present, right? So even my kids now, as old as they are, still like expect on Christmas Eve to at least get one present. So that's one of the things we've done. We've always, you know, we always read the Bible story, the birth of Jesus. My husband always reads that on Christmas Eve. So we, you know, we're like thankful. Like I said, we have a lot to still be thankful for, especially this holiday. And of course, Trey, I make a gazillion cookies.
Like, hey, look, I'm glad you brought that up. I need another delivery of those because those things are, you know, yes, Miss Kim, I need those for sure. Please, I need them this week. So,
wait, well, what's your favorite cookie? What's your favorite?
Chocolate chip. That's the only thing I know.
Okay, but I thought maybe over Christmas you might have a special Christmas cookie.
Nah, I keep it the same when it comes to the cookies, you know.
So my husband, this is what, you know, this is like banner between ownerships, right? So my husband says, man, I wish I could have taken a picture of Trey in the locker room in his underwear. And I'm like, why? And he's like, that guy's got no body fat on him whatsoever. He is so ripped, right? He said, I wish I could have taken a picture.
And you know what? If he come in the locker room with that flip phone and try to take a picture of me, I'm going to be mad because it's going to be low quality. It's not going to show the people how good it really looks. So he need to come in with his iPhone.
Okay. Well, obviously the cookies won't have any effect on that, but he was commenting this after this game, what great shape you're in. So I told him, yes, please do not take a picture of Trey in his underwear. That probably wouldn't be proper.
But we need those cookies for sure.
All right.
Because you got away from it. I'm asking.
They're coming. All right. You asked, they're coming. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm gonna have a good
chocolate chip cookies for Trey.
Yeah. I'm a cookie monster.
Amazing. Trey, before we leave and sign off for this interview, you talked about what type of legacy you want to leave in the NFL. I want to ask you about the legacy you want to leave for your family and for Shreveport. You're from Shreveport. I think you do a great job of giving back to your community and your home when you sign that contract extension. A lot of what you talked about was generational wealth and pouring back into the community that you were raised in and into Shreveport. And I think that's something that's so inspiring to hear from NFL players is just how much they want to give back to the place that raised them. So what do you want your legacy to be with your family and with a community like Shreveport where you got your start?
I just wanted to be, you know, when I was growing up and going through school and doing everything, I don't know. It was just something in me, like, even with grades, I wanted to, you know, pretty much be a student athlete. You know, I was.
You were valedictorian.
Valedictorian, yeah. And that was one of the first times that a guy, that a male got it from my school, so that was big. And then with me being a star athlete in the city and around the area, that was a big deal too, because you know how us sports stars, we get that bad rep as far as not going to class and not doing the things that we're supposed to. But just me, I don't know. I just wanted to, set a different example. I wanted to show people that, you could be a great athlete, but you could do it in the classroom too. You could be a great student too. So it was just a little different. I just wanted to like motivate, the kid from the area that I'm from, to just show them that, there's other ways to do it, and it takes patience too. It's a lot of hard work, and even with me deciding to go back to school my senior year and passing on NFL after my junior year at LSU, I mean, that showed there that I want to get my degree, man, and that's something that I don't take lightly, because I knew that me going into those schools and going back home, I want to show those guys like, okay, I'm in the NFL, but yeah, I'm a class valedictorian too, and I'm a college graduate too, and I've been an all SEC academic honor roll. I've been on that. I've done those things too. So just because you see me on a jersey with a helmet on, that's not who I am. I want to set a different example. So yeah, I feel like with the way that I carry myself as far as like being a student athlete, I think that with them seeing the way that I went about and doing things, I think that I wanted that to pretty much motivate them to aspire to be something different, and they can do it no matter what are the circumstances that they're dealt, or what humble beginnings that they come from. Because I've come from everything that that they see on a day-to-day basis. That's what I've seen since before I left for LSU. Since I grew up just like that. So I didn't stop seeing that until I left to go to LSU, and when I go back home on breaks, I was going back home to that. So I didn't get my own bed until it was crazy. I didn't have my own bed until like junior year in high school. And then once I got to college, that was my first time I had like a queen size. So I was sleeping I felt like I was sleeping luxury then. So it just goes to show, man, that no matter the circumstances or the cards that you're dealt, it's never it's never got to be the outcome. You're always in control of your own narrative, and I think that with the way that I did what I did, I think that showed the kids from the community that I'm from and from the whole city that I'm from that it could be done for sure.
Amazing. Trey, you are such an inspiration to so many people. You make so many people laugh. I mean, Kim, this is like the perfect type of player and person to have on the Buffalo Bills. I just hope that you can play in the league until you're like 60 years old, Trey.
Now, I don't know about that,
on the
man.
Bills.
Now, I got them kids at home. I don't want to miss too much now. I don't want to miss too much. I can't. I don't think I'm going to play that long. I don't want to play that long.
Well, I'm certainly glad that he's going to be our player on the Buffalo Bills for a long time now. So we love having you on the team, doing the contract extension. You're the type of person that we want, and what you've contributed to the success of the team this year and in previous year is just it's great to see. So we love having you. I love talking to you. I wish we could see each other more, but and I'll get those cookies to you for sure.
All right, thank you so much. It's good to be on the show. Don't be a stranger. I want to be on this show again because I know I've been hearing this show get a lot of pub and a lot of comments from people. So
we got you, Trey. You're on our short list, okay? Don't worry.
All right, appreciate it. Y'all be good.
Bye, Trey. The Buffalo Bills are proud to partner with National Grid in promoting the Safety First initiative, where every time a Bills safety makes a tackle at home, National Grid will donate $50 to the 100 Club of Buffalo in support of first responders and their families. National Grid reminds you to put safety first in your home with this easy tip. If you use a generator, be sure to keep it outdoors and away from doors, windows, and vents. Kim, we've got another segment, an Ask the Owner segment, where we asked fans if they had any questions for you. Got a few great ones. Of course, one of them was, when is Brandon Beane going to get a contract extension? And that was answered this week. Yeah, I love it. But we had another one from Steve Noble. He said, with COVID-19, how do you and Terry maintain relationships with players and coaches? These are strange times. I completely agree that they're strange times. Like you, it's been tough to have any face-to-face interaction with players, with coaches? I haven't had any. Hopefully next year we do get some. But as an owner, what has it been like for you, especially with the new players who have come in that you probably really haven't gotten to meet?
Right. No, it has been hard. I'm not going to lie, because, when they're at practice, you're trying to stay away, and, they're really working. So you're not trying to, be up there with them and invading their space when they're practicing. And so, and then, especially in the intensive protocols where we are in now, and with even, more virtual team meetings and not being able to go into the facility after a game and things like that. So it has been definitely very hard to really form those deep relationships, especially like you noted, the rookies and the new guys on the team this year. But, I would say, we go to every game, we go to every away game. And so those are just, the few moments that we can have with and interact with the team. Kind of just, even when we're in our hotel room, there's no meal room anymore. It's grab and go. So they're just little interactions, passing in the hallways in the hotel, or Terry goes down to the locker room after every game, just those little things. It really has been difficult this year. And I will tell you, I'm looking forward to getting back to some normal interaction, hopefully next season.
Me too. We've got another one from Andrew Chatterton. A popular question probably right now with how great this offense has been playing, thanks to a guy like Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Bills. He said, how hard is Kim going to fight to keep Brian Daboll as the OC and not let him get stolen to a head coaching job elsewhere?
This is a hard one, because of course I love Brian to stay, but it's like, when you love someone, sometimes you got to let them go, that type of thing. And what I mean by that is, listen, I am sure that at some point in Brian Daboll's life, being a head coach of a football team is one of his goals in life. And who am I to stop that? So as much as we would love him to stay, I think one of, the great accomplishments we can do as an organization, as ownership, is giving him the opportunity to grow and develop his skills. And if they lead beyond and lead to a head coach position, I'm just going to say congratulations. So I know fans don't want to see him go. We don't want to see him go. And I'm sure that, there's going to be a place for him. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and we wish all that for him. So that's what happens, It just, like you said, you put the time and the effort and you grow, but that's the reason we do these things. So we want them to expand. And just like, we know Coach McDermott came from a really great coaching tree, as we call it. Where we want Sean to have his own coaching tree as well.
Definitely. I just hope that Brian can maybe be here for a couple more years, but we'll see. I mean, he was already a head coaching candidate last season. This season, of course, he's going to be one again. So we'll see what the future holds for him. Right now, we're just super happy and thankful that he's here in Buffalo and can hopefully take this team pretty far into the playoffs. Our last question is a holiday-themed question. Joe Pitsy wants to know, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
I'm going to tell you what Terry's favorite Christmas movie is. The National Lampoon's, I don't even know the name of it.
Christmas Vacation?
Yes. That one. So that is in fact, he watched it the other day, and he's just like, I'm in the other room, like working. I just hear him like laughing. I'm like, how many times have you seen this movie? Right. But like, he's laughing like it's the first time he's ever seen it. So he loves that movie. At Christmas, I love Christmas, and I'm such a traditionalist. So I love The Sound of Music. Ooh, I love The Grinch. I love everything about Christmas, and especially the more traditional parts of it. So that's me. But National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, I probably would say has to be at the top.
I will say I watched Christmas Vacation over Thanksgiving, and I've seen it a couple times too, and was still laughing just as hard. Another favorite one for me is Elf.
Yeah,
I love that one with Will Ferrell. It's so funny, but of course, the classics got to be a favorite as well. That segment was brought to you by St. Bonaventure. They're also this week's game sponsor. St. Bonaventure is an official education partner of the Buffalo Bills. To learn more, visit sbu.edu. All right, Kim, coming up, we've got week 14 against the Steelers. It's another Sunday night football matchup Last year, we were at Heinz Field at their place. We got the win on Sunday night. Also did a lot of dancing to Renegade, their pump-up song. Of course, our sideline got electric when that song came on because they heard it all week at practice, and that's the only thing they knew how to do at that point was to dance like a song. To dance with a song like Renegade. So I hope that's the case this weekend when we play the Steelers. You predicted a win against the 49ers. The Steelers are another talented team. So how are you feeling about this matchup? I know you also have some ties with the Pittsburgh Steelers as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? I was really hoping that we were going to be able to kind of really kill their undefeated season. Now, the Washington football team, you know, got to be able to do that. So, but it does show that every team is fallible. This is the end of the season where it is tough to win any games at all. And so I am going to say, I'm going to put another W. I think we're really going into, listen, I said, they show that there's some weaknesses there, and we have a team that is kind of hot right now, right? The way we performed on Monday night should give us a lot of confidence. Getting our team healthy, certainly has helped, and we're at home. So I got to give the edge to us, but certainly it's a good team. It's a team we talked about consistency in coaching and GM and players, and certainly with their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, consistency is very key to a lot of their success. So not going to say that it's not going to be that, it's going to be easy, but certainly I think that, anyone can compare us to the best that's playing right now in the NFL.
Yeah, they scored under 20 points the last 2 weeks. They beat the Ravens, scoring 19 points, and then lost to the Washington football team, scoring 17 points. I think their offense has been struggling as of late, and they're going to play their third game in 11 days due to that schedule change, that originally scheduled Thanksgiving game with the Baltimore Ravens that got moved like 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. So I think the Bills could be catching them at the perfect time when they're probably tired from playing all of these games at the end of the season in a short amount of time. Their rushing average is under 100 yards a game right now. Their defense is really great. They're one of the best in the league, but we played a top 10 defense in the 49ers last week and had a lot of success against them. So I like our odds too in this game. It's going to be a very competitive matchup, like we said, against the 49ers. Maybe one that comes down to the wire. It didn't come down to the wire last week, which I was pretty pumped about to see this game kind of put away there in the third quarter. Was a little bit more relaxing to watch the game. Hopefully that's the case here against the Steelers. But you have some ties to the organization too. What are your ties to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, we've always, Terry always has had his oil and gas business in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And our daughter, my grandkids, her husband, they're living in Pittsburgh as well. So spent both of my son was born in Pittsburgh too. So certainly we've spent a lot of time there. And we have, like I said, staff and employees and a lot of friends there in Pittsburgh, but they're all Bills fans. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah. So no worries there. But it's always, playing a team that's so close to you, just even distance, just a short 3-hour ride. Those are great rivalries. And I know that, if we had fans, like this would be a game, just like they showed up when we played the Steelers last year, that, we would have had Steelers fans come up to Buffalo for this home game. And that always makes for so much fun, right? Like, of course you want your home base to be your home team, but when you have other, the visiting team fans show up, it's fun. It's fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it would have been an electric game. Sunday Night Football, I know this was a game that a lot of fans were circling on their schedules. Certainly it was for me too. I was thinking, oh my gosh, week 14, this could be a playoff implications game, which it definitely is. But to be able to have our fans there with us would have been so special. Of course, they'll be watching from home, and we appreciate the support from home just as much, but we'll definitely miss them here on Sunday.
All right. Thanks, Maddy.
All right, Kim, thanks for the time. Thanks for another podcast. We will catch you guys next week. Make sure you stay tuned for a lot of more guests down the line as we close out the season. Bills Pod Squad brought to you by the New York Lottery. Kim, we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.